there's a story in the Old Testament. It's in the temple and it's getting dark and the light is fading fast. Eli the priest is already asleep, and Samuel, Eli's assistant, hears his name called out of the darkness, Samuel, Samuel. And he goes to Eli and says, "Did you call me?" And Eli says, "No." So Samuel carries on, and then a bit later on he hears this cry again, "Samuel, Samuel." And again Samuel, thinking that, well, it's only Eli who's in the building with me, goes back to Eli and says, "No, seriously, did you call me?" And Eli's a bit mystified at this stage and probably slightly annoyed that he's been woken up from his sleep, and suddenly recognises that actually it's God calling Samuel by name. And so he shares this with Samuel, and the next time Samuel hears out of the darkness these words, "Samuel, Samuel," he says, "Here I am, Lord." Let's roll forward quite a bit of time to Luke chapter 1, and we find an angel telling Mary that she would conceive and bear a son, and she was to name him Emmanuel, which means God with us. Mary has just been told that she would give birth to Jesus Christ. And like so many of us who receive significant news and struggle to contain it, she wants to tell someone about what she's just heard, just like Samuel in the temple went to tell Eli about his experience. And when Mary arrives at Elizabeth's house, Elizabeth is overjoyed at the news that the angel has brought to Mary, and says, you know, God will do great things through you. We depict Mary through art and music, but we can often run the risk of seeing her as some celebrity A-lister, as some elite figure. And what we lose sight of is the ordinariness of Mary's life. Mary was a teenager. She had all the issues that young people in our generation might have to do with relationships and work and identity and purpose and meaning in life. But Mary, like Samuel, had been invited by God to do something extraordinary. God had visited Mary as an individual, as an ordinary individual, and involved her in his plan to fix and to save the world. And I wonder if, as you watch this, you wonder at the extent that God could use you, but be inspired by the example of people like Samuel and Mary, that God takes ordinary people and does extraordinary things through them. You might like to pray this Christmas that God would use your life, what you might perceive as an ordinary, average life, and do extraordinary things through it. Merry Christmas.